About, I mean, to me, icons are about things that last, but the paradox about fashion is that it keeps changing.
I think fashion changes because people change, and I'm quite interested all the time in my work is to allow the women to work with the icon inside themselves, because it allowed women to play with, to find freedom with their own fears. When you play a character or an iconic character, you're not yourself anymore, and everything that you don't like about yourself become another person, and you can create dress or outfit for this woman, pushing them all the time to play icons. That was the first thing. I come from a little village, and I was the son of a butcher, and everything was so set up for me straight away as a human being. And I knew it was another door somewhere, another world, an iconic world. And the first one who came to me was through TV, and which was, in a funny way, the first icon things I've seen as a child, when that cube was on the top of the fridge and it started to send me image. And that was iconic, and the image of the people coming from the TV were even more iconic. And it was like, where is the custom to go inside that box? Where do I leave the village and is next door to the village? Is he going to Paris? Is he coming to London? Where is the beginning of the iconic world? And in a certain way is inside ourselves, and I think we need all this product because we want to define who we are through this product, or maybe to fight our own fears. We need this product to like ourselves. And when women come to me and say, oh, I love your dress, or your dress is an iconic dress, it's more like, no, your body is iconic for me. I create a shell to show your body, because it's quite simple. My recipe is the female body. It's not where, I never take a concept about where she travels. No, it's like from 7 years old to 70 years old, every woman wants to have the same body. She wants to have breasts, waist, and hips, and to be on a pair of heels. However, and that for me is iconic. And there are so many women who present it in a so different way that it can be an inspiration for women to come out of their own shell and say, okay, I'm going to be that actress for a while. I'm going to be that famous woman. And that's how it works. That's how, I don't know if I explain myself properly in the middle of these three gentlemen, but it's really, it's about the body. It's about the fear of people. And I think the fear of women allowed me to create iconic dresses. And every season I try to capture that dress that I know I say, it's going to be an iconic dress. It's becoming a game for me. It's just every season say, what is going to be iconic? And in a funny way, it's all the time about what women are frightened about. Of everything. If you're married, you must know that. Never ask your wife or your girlfriend about her weight, about her hips, about her breast. And if you start to work with that and start to present it that she looks like her dreams, or her fears her dream can fight a fear, is becoming quite fantastic. The galaxy, if we have to come to that dress, is no more, no less the female form. It's nothing else than that. And there are a few tricks inside it that are not practical at all. But my God, men remember women in the galaxy, which I think that's another thing. Is icon allowed to share. I think everything we talk about, even if they're not practical, you share it with other people. You recognize, and people comes to you and say, "Oh, you have that chair," or you have, it creates communication. Maybe that's, if we're coming back to the word icons through religion, it was people who create communication. We talk about icons because it creates a story. Yeah. And the story is passing from one people to another. Most of the time it can be deformed, and that's what sometimes iconic product have, or iconic people have, their story is even more iconic than them, because it's been deformed through how you pass it to other people. But it's quite fantastic because it gave maybe a purpose for us to exist. Animals don't have iconic product, and that's where we say they're animals and we are human beings. Or maybe if we want to treat ourselves as animals, we won't have any iconic.
Roland, if one thinks that maybe icon can be defined as reducing complex things to a irreducible minimum, something which expresses a lot of things in a very powerful way, is that something to do with the way that the bag has become so important in fashion?
I think that's products. We're talking about iconic products or iconic people. Everything at the end is to sell. If you go if we're going back to religion and the Christianism, like there are so many iconic products. Like you have the ground. What's the ground? In some people it's a cup. In other people is Mary Magdalene. For other, it's so different how we see what we want to buy, because I think we want to buy in the story. That's as simple as that. You want, and sometimes by buying in the story, you buy the product to create a story around you. I think when a woman buys one of my dresses, she's buying the story around herself. She's buying the story about what the press say about me. Like, it's true that I love when men recognize a woman is beautiful, and I love that. It's quite important for me to make outfit that men who don't know anything about fashion come to me and say, "Oh, my wife or my girlfriend looks so fantastic," and at that point I say, "Great, it's a winner." I create a moment. I didn't just sell the dress. I create a moment between two people. I create a communication, and that's really important for me.
What kind of things can fashion communicate? What's the language that?
I think again, it's about. It's so social, political. What fashion do? I think, at the moment we have a big problem with our. The way we're aging, the way we're going through life. We have a big problem with continents, and all continent, new continent. I really think the notion of iconic figure, like really skinny people at the moment, which become really iconic because they're so close to the Christ or so close to religion, they're so skinny. Because if you remember iconic people in religion, they're not big, they're all the time martyr, and they're really skinny. And we think that we can't live without any, in fashion at the moment, or brand push us to believe that without, which is really weird to talk about that at Harrods because they're selling them. But it's without the bag, what that notion of the bag is about, The only thing I can say about bags in fashion, you don't need to be a size 8 or 14 to have a bag. That's why women buy bags, because there is no size. As simple as that. Every woman ass is the same size with a bag. But and when you know about that, when you know that all the finishing of a bag give an illusion of something, is icon illusion? That's another question.